About 7 years ago, we decided to go gluten-free. Lots of food choices changed for us. The hardest one to tackle has been pizza bases. I bought a lot of expensive, very average pizza bases as we completely changed our diet. And once day-to-day gluten-free cooking felt a bit more normal and I was overpaying the crazy prices for bases we didn't really enjoy, I started on a journey that not only included pizza bases, but starting a sourdough starter, and I have been obsessed since. This is my sourdough starter. Flour, salt, sugar, psyllium husk powder, almond flour, and mix the dry ingredients together. 1 egg, olive oil, add to the dry mix, add sourdough starter and the equal amount of warm water. Watch as the mix comes together. If it seems a little dry, add a little bit of water at a time. The psyllium husk powder will soak up a lot of liquid, so it has to be quite a tacky mix when you are mixing it. As you can see, it is quite sticky. At the moment, it looks more like a paste than a dough. I use olive oil so it doesn't stick to everything. Scrape the dough down the sides and keep it all together. Oil a container and put the mix in. Mix the dough around so it is covered in oil. Even now it's come together really nice. I'm going to let this sit on the counter. You can see the air bubbles in it. This is the first dough I mixed and it has risen already. I'm going to put lids on, leave them on the counter and come back to them in a few hours' time. I am rolling this dough out on paper. As you can see, the dough has risen beautifully. The mix has come together well. I halve the dough in each container for a thick crust or divide into 3 for a thinner crust. Gently work the dough out. Continue rolling the dough out. I have an oiled tray and I'm going to work the dough out to the edges. And I'm going to put this aside to rest while I continue with the rest of the dough. Look at the air bubbles in this. I really enjoy making this dough. I love using my sourdough starter, and to make life really easy and convenient, I have large jars with all the dry ingredients pre-mixed in my pantry. very similar to how you would buy a packet cake mix. I always use this same flour. I have not yet tried to blend my own gluten-free mix. I am sure that's something I will try in the future, but at the moment I'm pretty happy to use the premix flour. As you can see, this dough is really easy to handle and you can move it around quite easily. If the dough is too sticky, you can just divide the dough up and push it straight into the pan with olive oil spread on top. I am going to par bake all these bases, and then I am going to put toppings on two and cook for dinner, and the other two bases I will put in the fridge for later in the week. This is the basic recipe. Sometimes I switch almond flour for oat flour, and in place of olive oil I might use butter, and in place of warm water I sometimes use milk. And by changing out a few ingredients, I can use my premix jars to make focaccia or a flatbread. I have also made cinnamon rolls using the same premix. Thank you for hanging out with me today while we cook pizzas. I appreciate your company and would really love it if you would subscribe. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.